Hey fam, welcome back to Pay for Highlighter, the channel that keeps your guilty pleasures glowing neon. Let's dive right in. First up, the burning question. Will 90 Day Fiancé Hunt for Love get a season 2? Fans are begging TLC for another round after that messy retreat in Tulum, but the network's keeping tight-lipped. Rumors swirl about Danielle, Nicole, and even new casting calls, but so far, pure speculation. Meanwhile, Chantel is single-handedly carrying the franchise's chaos crown. At the tell-all, she shocked fans by locking lips with Jenn right on stage, Ashley fuming on the sidelines, and then her mom stormed in with literal trash bags. Oh, and the internet shredded Chantel's sequined pink gown, comparing it to everything from circus costumes to ice skating disasters. Next, Natalie refuses to let the spotlight cool. She's fueling two dramas at once. First, insta-flirt rumors with Jamal, Kimberly's son, fans screaming, "Run, Jamal, run!" and then snatching the Mrs. National 2025 title. Some call it empowering, others say it looks more like a strip club contest. Either way, Natalie knows how to keep tongues wagging. But wait, TLC just dropped the trailer for The Other Way Season 7, and we're already buzzing. New couple Manon and Anthony promise drama, culture clashes, and maybe even a big move to France. Will they survive the journey or implode on camera? And finally, the fandom has turned on a former fave. Loren, once beloved, is now slammed as unlikable and two-faced, while defenders say stress is worsening her Tourette's. Is she the new villain of the franchise or just misunderstood? Plus, we've got Colt Johnson's third freak accident, Sophie hinting at Pedro with her cryptic legal reasons comment, and Guillermo and Kara's marriage drama exploding online. You know we've got it all covered. So, hit like, tap subscribe, smash that bell, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming. Now, let's kick it off with the Hunt for Love renewal rumors. 90 Day Fiancé Hunt for Love has been the guilty pleasure spinoff no one saw coming, and now the million-dollar question is whether TLC is going to greenlight Season 2. Viewers want answers, and the speculation is spiraling out of control. Let's rewind for a second. Season 1 of Hunt for Love threw 8 familiar faces from the 90-day universe into a luxury retreat in Tulum, Mexico. Think speed dating with a side of tequila shots mixed with enough drama to fuel an entire Reddit thread. From Cole and Jennifer's solidifying bond to Courtney and Colt somehow hanging on despite the odds, the season gave us chaotic energy in every episode. But here's where it gets spicy. The tell-all. Part 2 just dropped and left fans screaming at their TVs. Breakups were confirmed, hookups exposed, and then came Chantel's jaw-dropping confession about her sexuality and her blossoming romance with bestie Ashley. Suddenly, a season that started with lighthearted ball games and awkward speed dating spiraled into one of the rawest, most unpredictable finales in 90-day history. Now, with all that buzz, fans are convinced TLC would be crazy not to order Season 2. Online chatter points to producers already scouting potential cast members, with whispers that Danielle Mullins, Jabali, and Nicole Nafziger are on the shortlist. Imagine the meltdown if those two actually showed up in Tulum. One fan summed it up perfectly on Instagram. "If Danielle and Nicole walk in, cancel my summer plans. I'm glued to the screen." Still, TLC hasn't made a single official announcement. No renewal, no cancellation, no hints in press releases, nothing. And yet, that hasn't stopped viewers from digging. Some eagle-eyed fans claim casting calls have quietly gone out for singles open to international love in tropical destinations. Others believe TLC is testing the waters by watching Hunt for Love's streaming numbers before making the final call. Considering how high those numbers spiked when the premiere hit in May 2025, it feels less like if and more like when. And let's not overlook the star power. Hunt for Love Season 1 gave us plenty of memes, from the infamous ball games that turned into screaming matches, to Ashley's jealous meltdowns, to Chantel dropping her truth bomb about love and identity. That's the kind of viral, memeable chaos producers dream about. As one fan tweeted, "I didn't even know I needed this show, but now I can't live without it." Of course, there's a flip side. Some viewers argue the concept was already a stretch, forcing familiar faces into a dating show setup instead of the immigration journeys that made 90 Day famous. Critics called it Love Island with expired visas and questioned whether TLC can squeeze another season out of the formula. If too many of the original cast are already in relationships or too messy to return, can producers really create the lightning in a bottle energy? The speculation doesn't stop there. The biggest fan theory floating right now is that TLC will drop the Season 2 announcement in late spring, aiming for another summer launch. That would match the pattern of Season 1's May premiere, giving fans a perfect beach season binge. Another theory suggests they might expand the retreat to a different location, Hawaii, Costa Rica, maybe even Europe, to keep things fresh while doubling down on the vacation romance vibe. Whether it's in Mexico or somewhere new, the fans have spoken. They want Hunt for Love back, and they want it messier than ever. The only missing piece is TLC finally making it official. Until then, every casting rumor, every leak, and every cryptic social media post is fuel for the fire. Don't touch that dial, because if you thought renewal rumors were dramatic, wait until you hear about Chantel turning the tell-all stage into a live-action soap opera. Jealousy, tongue, and yes, even trash bags. You won't believe this one. Okay, let's break this down. Chantel came into the tell-all with buzz already swirling about her new romance with her best friend, Ashley. But no one expected what happened on stage. Ashley, clearly feeling the heat, puffed up her chest and declared she could kiss better than that. Before anyone could even blink, Chantel and Jenn were locking lips center stage. Tongue, tilt, and zero shame. Camera zoomed, the audience gasped, and producers knew they had their viral moment. Ashley's response? Less heartbreak, more competition. Instead of walking away, she doubled down, practically challenging Jenn to a rematch. But the internet wasn't buying it. One fan snapped, "Girl, nobody needed you to prove you can kiss better. We don't care." Another said the whole stunt felt like a bad high school drama club audition. And just when viewers thought it couldn't get any messier, in walked Karen, Chantel's mom, dragging trash bags across the stage. Yes, trash bags. The audience froze, the cast looked confused, and social media lit up like fireworks. Some fans laughed it off, calling it campy reality TV gold. Others said it was tacky beyond belief. Either way, it was instantly memeified. Screenshots of Karen with those bags plastered all over Twitter and Instagram with captions like, "When mom brings the receipts," literally. Meanwhile, the chaos overshadowed every other storyline. Ashley's jealousy turned into background noise, Chantel's PDA with Jenn became the main event, and poor Jenn looked like she just rolled with it. Because what else can you do when you're suddenly part of the most talked about kiss in 90-day history? Comment sections blew up with people debating motives. Was Chantel genuinely following her heart, or was she staging a shock factor moment for screen time? Some viewers swear she's leaning into drama to secure a bigger storyline now that Pedro is out of the picture. One TikTok breakdown even claimed the whole thing felt scripted. Producers fed them the idea, Chantel delivered, Ashley flopped, mom added props. Ugh. And the ripple effects keep coming. Meme accounts are dubbing this the trash bag tell-all. Reddit threads are overflowing with play-by-play recaps, from Chantel's lipstick smudge to Jenn's poker face reaction. And Ashley? She's taking the brunt of the internet's mockery, with fans dragging her for trying too hard to win a competition nobody signed up for. One commenter nailed it with brutal honesty. "That wasn't a love triangle. That was a clown car." Another added, "Chantel came for closure, Ashley came for a trophy, and mom came with garbage." Ouch.
Keep it locked, because if you thought Chantel's chaos was wild, wait till you hear about Natalie cozying up to Jamal. DMs, memes, and a picture that has fans screaming, "Run for your life." This crossover is about to break the internet. It all started with a meme. Jamal posted a cheeky picture that poked fun at Natalie, and instead of laughing it off, she clapped back in his DMs. Screenshots showed her writing, "I never said you were flirting with me. Stop being being mean. Sounds harmless enough, right? Wrong. That little back and forth only poured gasoline on an already raging fan fire. Because then came the picture. Natalie, rocking a curve-hugging white mini dress, leaning in just a little too close to Jamal, who's flashing a thumbs up in a loud patterned shirt. On its own, maybe it's nothing, but in the 90-day universe, it's everything. The optics screamed intimacy, and social media couldn't resist. Fans immediately split into camps. One side dragged Natalie hard, accusing her of thirsting after younger men and even comparing her to Darcy and Stacy. Harsh comments piled in, everything from she's unrecognizable after too much plastic surgery to cruel suggestions that she should go back to her country. Others blasted Jamal as a clout chaser, accusing him of milking his mom's TLC fame for attention and now hitching himself to Natalie for headlines. But then came the conspiracy crowd. Sharp-eyed fans claimed the image itself looked fake, zooming in on what they swore was a stray lock of brown hair that didn't belong to either of them. Photoshop accusations flew, with people insisting the whole thing was staged to generate buzz. And in true reality TV fashion, some believed it, while others rolled their eyes and called to yet another overblown scandal. Meanwhile, the shippers came crawling out of the woodwork. Yes, believe it or not, a faction of fans declared the duo a match made in reality TV heaven. Comments like, "Why not? Natalie's gorgeous, Jamal's handsome, let them be," were sprinkled into the chaos, though they were quickly drowned out by a louder chorus of concern. And that chorus? Pure alarm bells. Thread after thread lit up with warnings like, "Run, Jamal, run," and "She'll eat you alive." One fan put it bluntly, "Nice guy versus hooker. Just say no." Another wrote, "This is the train wreck crossover we never needed." Natalie, for her part, hasn't exactly helped cool things down. By engaging in DMs and letting that picture circulate, she only fanned the flames. And Jamal? His silence hasn't stopped people from speculating. Some say he's just letting the rumors run wild for clout. Others think he genuinely didn't realize how big this would blow up. Either way, the internet refuses to let this one go.
Stick around, because if you thought the kissing scandals and DM drama were wild, wait until you see how Chantel's fashion choice at the tell-all sparked one of the nastiest style debates in franchise history. Sequins, shade, and comparisons you will not believe. The gown in question, a sparkling pink number with a plunging neckline and a body-hugging fit. On paper, glamorous. On screen, well, that depends on who you ask. Half the internet crowned her bold and beautiful. The other half, they compared her to everything from a high school dance recital to a circus act to a figure skater in a bad costume. One top comment bluntly read, "Looks 2 sizes too small, she's ready to fall out." Another slammed her hair and makeup as synthetic and even went as far as to say she looked like Andre the Giant. Ouch. The shade didn't stop there. Dozens of fans claimed Chantel's style disaster was really a symptom of something deeper. Over and over, comments tied her look to life after Pedro. "She's so lost without him," one fan wrote. Another said, "She doesn't even look like herself anymore, just sad and searching." More than a few claimed she's starting to morph into her mother, Karen, both in style and spirit. And of course, her new romance with Ashley didn't escape the drag. Some viewers accused her of overcompensating with sequins and PDA, calling her desperate for love and attention. One viral tweet read, "First the tongue kiss, now this dress. Somebody please stage an intervention." Still, it wasn't all doom and gloom. A vocal group of defenders stepped in to remind everyone that Chantel is absolutely beautiful and should wear whatever she wants, ill-fitting or not. "Confidence is always in style," one Instagram comment read, earning thousands of likes. Others pushed back against the pylon, saying the hate had gone too far. And just when you think the style drama was enough, keep it locked, because Natalie just snagged the title of Mrs. National 2025. Was it a crowning achievement or just a glittery scandal waiting to explode? You won't want to miss this. So here's what went down. Natalie, never one to shy away from a spotlight, strutted across the stage and walked away with the title of Mrs. National 2025. On Instagram, she gushed, "I'm beyond honored to be a new Mrs. National 2025. This crown is more than a title, it's a mission, to lead with purpose, power, and authenticity. I'm here to uplift, inspire, and represent women who are bold, brilliant, and ready to change the world." Sounds like a queen moment, right? But the fandom wasn't exactly buying it. Almost immediately, the comment section turned savage. The first red flag? The word Mrs. Fans flooded her feed with confusion. Does this mean she's still married to Mike Youngquist? Their messy split has been public knowledge for years. One top comment read, "Mrs. implies you're married. What is this title anyway?" Others joked the whole thing was more about branding than actual pageantry. And then came the takedowns. Some accused her of paying for the crown, with one snarky user writing, "How much did TLC cover for that tiara?" Another said it looked like a Fredericks of Hollywood fashion show rather than a national competition. Even her runway walk came under fire. Critics blasted it as awkward, exaggerated, in one step shy of doing porn. Ouch! But Natalie has her defenders. Supporters flooded the comments too, praising her bombshell figure and daring confidence. One fan declared, "She's stunning at almost 40, hot AF like the rest of us." Another said anyone dragging her was just jealous. And international followers from Brazil to Europe chimed in with congratulations, insisting she looked radiant. Still, the internet couldn't resist poking holes. Conspiracy theories flew that the pageant itself might not even be legit. Some argued it was set up by the modeling agency just to hand Natalie a title. Others roasted the crown itself, calling it cardboard glitter and a front for escorts. Meme accounts had a field day, photoshopping the crown into party store packaging and dubbing it the Dollar Tree tiara. Don't touch that dial, because while Natalie's busy juggling crowns and controversy, TLC just dropped a brand new couple into The Other Way, Season 7. From culture clashes to stay-at-home dads, Manon and Anthony's story is already making waves. Let's start with the basics. Manon, introduced lounging by the pool in the sneak peek, is the breadwinner of the family. She works, she hustles, she provides. Anthony? He's at home with the kids, proudly calling himself a stay-at-home dad. On paper, it's a modern setup that should make sense. But in the world of 90 Day, nothing ever stays that simple. In the trailer, Anthony gushes that Manon is the best thing that ever happened to me. Sweet, right? But then Manon drops a bomb. The American dream is actually killing me. Cue the dramatic music sting. She's not happy with their life in the U.S., and she's looking for a way out. That way out? Selling the house and moving their whole family to France. The teaser shows Anthony and Manon smiling and holding hands as they dream about a new life overseas. But fans already see the cracks forming. If Manon is exhausted from carrying the financial load now, what happens when they uproot to a new country, deal with cultural differences, and try to build from scratch? One fan comment summed it up. She's giving, "I'm over this." He's giving, "Sure, babe, whatever you say." Recipe for disaster. Social media has been buzzing since the sneak peek dropped. Some fans love the idea of fresh blood on the show and are excited to see a wife take the lead for once. Finally, a woman in charge. She's the star already, one tweet declared. Others, however, are skeptical. So she works while he chills. In France, good luck with that, another viewer snarked. Even Anthony's stayed-home dad label is dividing the fandom. Some praise him for stepping up at home, saying more men should normalize the role. Others aren't convinced, dragging him as lazy or coasting on Manon's grind. As always, the internet can't agree. Then there's the bigger storyline TLC is dangling in front of us. Can Manon and Anthony really pull this off? Leaving the US for France isn't just a change of scenery, it's a whole new set of challenges. Language barriers, immigration paperwork, culture shock, it's a goldmine for reality TV producers and a potential nightmare for the couple. Reddit threads are already predicting how this plays out. The top theories? Either Anthony fails to adjust to life in France and resentment builds, or Manon realizes the grass isn't greener and they end up back in the States broke and bitter. Some even think TLC cast them specifically to implode on camera because their setup is too shaky not to crack.
Stick around, because while Manon and Anthony are bracing for culture shock, another fan favorite is bracing for something else entirely. Backlash. Loren, once beloved, is now being branded the franchise's latest villain. We're diving straight into that messy debate next. Let's talk about Loren. For years, she's been one of the bright spots of the 90-Day Fiancé universe, quirking, lovable, outspoken, and willing to share her struggles, especially around Tourette's, which earned her a lot of empathy and admiration. But fast forward to now, and the tone has shifted dramatically. Fans on Reddit, TikTok, and Instagram are blasting her left and right. The main accusation? She's become unlikable, whiny, and way too wrapped up in gossip. Commenters call her a two-faced troublemaker, a drama queen, and even say she's turned into a mini-me of her parents. Ouch. One viral thread claimed her only storyline now was stirring the pot about other couples, gossiping, whispering, and making dramatic faces in the background. A top-liked comment read, "Her only job is to look shocked, cry, and stir drama. It's giving fake." Others were even harsher, with one user bluntly saying she looks high and another adding she's pathetic. Her only personality is gossip. But here's where things get complicated. Some fans are pointing out the obvious. Loren's Tourette's tics get worse under stress. When the drama heats up, so do her visible reactions. A few defenders jumped in to say mocking her for that is unfair and cruel. One fan wrote, "She only looks crazy because she's stressed. Remember what she's dealing with." Another added, "She's overcome a lot and has a beautiful family. She doesn't deserve this pile-on." Still, those defenders are a minority voice. The overwhelming vibe online right now is that Loren has crossed the line from relatable to unbearable. And of course, in the 90-Day fandom, once the tide turns, it turns fast. Some fans also shifted the blame onto her husband, Alexei, or even pointed to Andre as the bigger villain in these group dynamics. But no matter where people place the blame, the consensus is clear. Loren's edit isn't helping her. With every episode, more people are slamming her as attention-seeking, over-the-top, and no longer the woman they once adored. The speculation has already started. Is this just bad editing, or has Loren really changed? Some viewers argue producers are leaning hard into a villain Loren storyline to spice up the season. Others think fame has gotten to her head, and the authentic, funny Loren from years ago has been replaced by someone obsessed with drama and screen time. Keep it locked, because if you thought Loren's downfall was messy, wait until you hear the rumors about Tim and Tiffany's so-called resort hookup. Cuddle buddies or secret lovers? This scandal is tearing the fandom apart. Here's how it started. A comment blew up online claiming that Tim and Tiffany were secretly together every night of the retreat. The post spread like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone was asking, did these two hook up behind the cameras? But the details got murky fast. Jennifer, of all people, hinted on camera that Tim wasn't even into women, then later accused him of sneaking off with Tiffany every night. Fans were quick to call her out. One Redditor snapped, "Crazy lady can't keep her life straight." Another wrote, "She's contradicting herself in the same breath, girl, please."
Tim himself shut down the speculation during filming, explaining that he and Tiffany were just friends. Yes, they spent time together. Yes, they sometimes shared a room, but according to him, it was purely platonic. Tiffany liked his air conditioning and he had a TV. That's it. Cue the awkward laughs, but no steamy reveal. And honestly, a big chunk of the fandom believes him. Comment sections filled up with takes like, they're cuddle buddies, not lovers, and Tim's basically her gay bestie without being gay. Others joked, he's a play-by-player, not a player. The general consensus, this was a glorified sleepover, nothing more. Still, the rumor hit a nerve because it exposed something bigger, Jennifer's credibility. Fans slammed her as a chronic liar, with one blunt comment saying, "Never believe anything Jenn says." Threads popped up questioning why Cole keeps trusting her at all. Some even argued this whole storyline proves she'll say anything for camera time. And Tiffany, she's not exactly sweating it. Reports and fan sleuthing suggest she's actually seeing someone else entirely. No hidden fleeing, no resort scandal, no secret cheating. Which makes the whole thing feel more like a manufactured plot than real-life drama.
Stick around, because if you thought fake hookups were messy, wait till you hear about Sophie dropping the words legal reasons when grilled about Pedro. Yup, we're heading straight into that bombshell next. Here's how it went down. During a recent interview, Sophie was asked point blank about her dating situation. Instead of the usual reality star coyness, she flat out refused to answer. When pressed, she doubled down with just 2 words: legal reasons. That tiny phrase set off a storm. Fans immediately started speculating. Legal reasons? What does that even mean? Is she under contract? Is it about her still messy relationship with Rob? Or is there something juicier, like Pedro? Because let's not forget, Sophie's been tied to Pedro Jimeno in fan chatter for months now. Remember that Valentine's Day road trip story? Sophie posted from Lake Travis in Austin, and Pedro just so happened to share a shot of his jeans and sneakers at the exact same location. Fans pounced instantly, stitching the post together like detectives on a crime show corkboard. Then came the overlapping restaurant pics. Sophie and Pedro both dropping food snaps from what looked suspiciously like the same spot. Coincidence? Maybe. But the fandom wasn't buying it. One Redditor wrote, "This isn't subtle, they're clearly together." Another fired back, "Or they just want us to think they are. Attention is the real currency." And Sophie's legal reasons comment only poured gasoline on the fire. Some fans think it's tied to her still legally binding marriage to Rob. Others are convinced it's an NDA with TLC, preventing her from confirming a new relationship until the cameras are ready. And a vocal group swears it's Pedro pulling the strings, with legal entanglement making it impossible for her to go public. The fan reactions have been priceless. One Instagram comment joked, "Translation, you have to pay me for an answer." Another wrote, "She isn't getting paid to talk, so she won't." And the memes? Oh, they're everywhere. Sophie's face plastered with the caption, "Legal reasons," like it's a new perfume campaign. But beyond the laughs, there's genuine curiosity. If Sophie really is with Pedro, it would be one of the wildest crossovers the franchise has seen in years. Both of them are controversial, both have messy histories, and both know how to keep a storyline alive. The idea of Sophie and Pedro together has fans salivating at the thought of a new spin-off, or at the very least a front row seat to chaos. Still, not everyone is buying it. Some argue Sophie's cryptic answers are just a distraction, a way to stay relevant while her storyline with Rob fizzles out. Others think Pedro is way too focused on his real estate hustle to get caught up in Sophie's drama. And a smaller but louder corner of the fandom says the whole thing feels manufactured by producers, planting seeds now for a bombshell reveal later.
Don't touch that dial, because if Sophie's drama had you scratching your head, wait until you hear about Colt Johnson's third major accident. From trampolines to car crashes, fans are starting to say this man is cursed. Colt Johnson's history with accidents is starting to look like its own spin-off series. Let's recap. First, he had that brutal trampoline fall. Then came the slippery deck incident. Now, Colt just revealed he was in a car accident, and fans are convinced the universe has it out for him. He shared the news on social media, posting a picture of himself on crutches in front of the Imperial Museum of Petropolis in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Colt explained that he'd been in a car accident just the week before, but was still healing up and doing better. Fans couldn't believe it. One commenter wrote, "Why is bad stuff always happening to you?" Another joked, "Larissa definitely put a Brazilian spell on him." And then came the flood of memes. Colt in bubble wrap, Colt with cartoon storm clouds, Colt as the Final Destination franchise's new main character. This latest injury is especially concerning because Colt is still recovering from his earlier leg injuries, which altered his time on Hunt for Love. Remember, he even showed up to the tell-all with a broken leg. The guy just hasn't had a break. Well, other than the literal ones. And fans aren't just laughing. Many are genuinely worried. His co-stars chimed in with support, asking if he was okay and sending prayers, but others took a darker view, with one Redditor commenting, "This is the universe trying to tell Colt something, and he's not listening." Conspiracy theories also cropped up because of course they did. Some say Colt is just incredibly unlucky. Others think he's clumsy to a fault. A few are even joking that his star sign must be permanently in retrograde. One user quipped, "Get this man an astrologer's stat, or at least a helmet." But beyond the memes, fans are asking whether Colt should even keep filming. Reality TV thrives on chaos, but when someone's constantly hurt, it raises questions. Can he keep up with the physically demanding group trips and reunions, or will his storyline shift into a saga of health scares and recovery?
And just when you think we're done with disaster stories, keep it locked, because Guillermo and Kara are back in the spotlight. And this time, fans are accusing her of clipping his wings while she chases her own dreams. The marriage drama is heating up. Let's rewind. Guillermo has been open about his dream of becoming a pilot, a goal he's held on to for years. But according to fans, Kara hasn't exactly been supportive. Instead, she's been busy chasing her own ambitions, from singing to flying across the globe for gigs, while allegedly telling Guillermo to keep his head down and stay practical. That double standard has fans fuming. One viral Reddit post summed it up. She gets to chase the spotlight, but he's told no? Hypocrisy! Viewers still can't forget the moment Kara brushed him off, saying it wasn't his business to know who she was texting. For many, that was the breaking point, a red flag that their marriage was running on fumes. The accusations against Kara range from selfishness to outright manipulation. Fans say she's using the show as a platform for her music career, while Guillermo plays the wounded husband in the background. Others accuse her of being controlling, prioritizing her own shine over their shared future. But don't get it twisted. Guillermo isn't walking away with all the sympathy. A vocal chunk of the fandom argues that he's immature, too quick to give up steady work, and unrealistic about how expensive his pilot dream really is. One Instagram comment read, "Flying lessons aren't free, bro. Who's paying for it? Your wife? Get real." Another sniped, "Kara's carrying the financial weight. She's not the villain. She's the realist." The result? A fandom split right down the middle. Some are waving red flags for Kara, warning that plenty of women would happily step into her shoes and support Guillermo's dream. Others say Kara's the only one being practical, while Guillermo leans on excuses and plays the victim. And then there's the bigger question. Was this marriage doomed from the start? Their age difference, clashing priorities, and Kara's alleged need for control were already hot topics when they first appeared on the show. Now, with Guillermo's ambitions versus Kara's career front and center, those old issues feel louder than ever.
Fans haven't been shy about sharing predictions. Some think Guillermo will eventually walk away, taking his son and chasing his dreams solo. Others see Kara dropping Guillermo once she secured more spotlight from the show. And of course, there are those who believe TLC is leaning into their cracks, exaggerating every fight for ratings. If you love the tea, smash that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss a drop, and sound off in the comments. Whose side are you on tonight? Don't forget to follow us across socials for even more behind-the-scenes gossip. And tomorrow, buckle up because we've got a bombshell that's going to shake the 90-day fandom to its core. You do not want to miss it. This is Paper Highlighter, and as always, stay bold, stay messy, and stay fabulous, Fame Fam.